Man, who would have thought that with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate winding down after a solid 3 years, that we would have an animation icon crossover platform fighter to look forward to. Now, unless you're living under Patrick's rock or didn't even bother reading the title of the video, then you already know I'm talking about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. While we don't currently have much information about the game aside from the fact that it's being developed by Slap City's Ludosity, a game that I haven't played but was quickly reminded by the entire internet that it's one of the better non-Smash platform fighters. The game also has rollback netcode on supported platforms, and we know a percentage of the game's roster with a couple potential leaked characters. I'm looking at you, Avatar franchise. No, not that one. The good Avatar. Anyway, I feel like it's 2018 again, and I'm making Smash character speculation videos. Speaking of which, if you plan on playing this game, I plan on making content on it, so consider subscribing, or you hate puppies. Alright, that's the whole intro. Here's 10 characters I personally want in the game, and feel free to give me your wish list below. Number 1, Timmy's dad. By the way, these are in no specific order.
If you want to get a girl, quit talking to your fish!
I think having zero representation from the Fairly Oddparents would be criminal, since there's not only a load of potential, but Fairly Oddparents is one of the better Nicktoons to grace cable in the last 20 years. The obvious choice for a fighter would be Timmy Turner himself, but I'd like some deeper cuts. And considering they chose an Real Monsters character for the reveal trailer, I think we might be in for some surprises. Timmy's dad is not only meme material, but could have a really fun moveset ranging from everyday Timmy's dad shenanigans to transforming into Dino Dad. Listen, if Kazuya can get Devil Blaster, Timmy's dad could get Meat Vision. Number 2, Rocco.
What?
While we have yet to see any inclusion from Rocco's modern life, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility, considering the new Rocco special, Static Cling, released on Netflix right before the world spun into disarray.
The 21st century is a very dangerous century.
And while I would love to fulfill my lifelong dream of a wacky deli fighting game, I think anyone outside of characters like Rocco, Heifer, and Filbert might be a bit too obscure, and Rocco's moveset could involve things like Laundry Day, a clever use of Spunky, or comic books. I don't know. Rocco has also had a video game that one time and never had a video game again after that, but we gotta put some respect on Rocco's name because he walked so SpongeBob could run, or swim. Number 3, Phil and Lil.
This time we really are doomed.
Now, Reptar is already in the game, and maybe that's Viacom's way of saying they want to include Rugrats without any of the babies throwing hands, but how cool would a gross Phil and Lil Ice Climbers clone be? Albeit they would be a very disgusting clone of Ice Climbers, but the use of worms, boogers, and you get the idea. Or maybe they could operate like Olimar and Alf and just be interchangeable skins. Either way, I'm wondering if we'll get playable babies or if Viacom is just going to play it safe and only include Reptar to represent the Rugrats franchise. Number 4, Quailman.
I possess the powers of the quail.
Doug was one of the 3 original Nicktoons that released when I was young alongside Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats. Rugrats was and still is one of my favorite cartoons. Ren and Stimpy was a little too raw for me, and then there was Doug, a character that I related with considering my love for comic books and drawing. But the thing about Doug is that Jumbo Pictures, the original animation studio, was acquired by Disney, who continued the show past its 4th season, but we don't talk about that. And Doug, being a character with various imaginative personas, would be a great addition to a platform fighter. I'm talking specifically about Quailman, as he's also a superhero that can be on the same level as Powdered Toast Man. However, I think the likelihood of anything Doug-related is low. He's basically to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl what Sora is to Smash. You know what? I'm rolling with that. Doug is Sora. Next, number 5, Squidward.
Meow.
Squidward seems like a given considering we already have SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy, and I think with SpongeBob being Nickelodeon's biggest franchise, that they might have the most representation on the roster. They're going to be the Super Mario franchise of this game. And Squidward is a character that I didn't appreciate until I physically became him. I grew older and began to understand Mr. Tentacles more, which is why I need the ability to play as him. And you know how the famous saying goes, either you die a SpongeBob or you live long enough to see yourself become Squidward.
No.
I think his moveset could be mostly music, dance, or art-based, and he could use his clarinet or something. Mark my words, if Squidward does not end up becoming the Waluigi of Nick All-Star Brawl, I'll probably main him. Number 6, Stu Pickles.
What is it this time, huh? An electric sponge? Of course not! That was last year.
There's something about the dads of the Nicktoon universe. I didn't grow to appreciate Stu until I was older and realized that adulthood is daunting and mysterious and depressing. Did you know that this mess of a human is 33 years old? The babies must have really done a number on Stu and Dee Dee, though, because I'm 33 years old and... Oh, yeah, the video. Stu Pickles is an inventor, which would give him options to incorporate some of his failed inventions into a moveset. He's also a gamer in the new Rugrats reboot, which I will openly admit to having watched in its entirety, and it's not awful. There's a bunch of changes and some retcons and a bunch of new voice actors, mainly for the adults, that don't hold a candle to the originals, but put Stu Pickles in the damn game. Put some respect on his name. My man was up at 4 o'clock in the morning making chocolate pudding for a... Number 7, Toph. While there hasn't been any confirmed characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's clear on this blacked out box art that Aang and Korra will be joining the battle. For anyone that's concerned, did you really think that Nickelodeon is going to ignore not only a multi-million-dollar franchise, but one that they confirmed to have an entire universe coming to, with multiple shows and movies? They're not that stupid. They like money. That's why Mr. Krabs exists. Hell, they put Aang in Smite. He'll be in this, and if not, I'll eat my keyboard. And personally, I'd love to see Toph make the cut. I'm an Earthbender at heart, and Toph is just a cool character. I actually watched Avatar for the first time last year, so I was uncultured for a long time, but I've seen the light, or in Toph's case, I haven't seen anything. But if I'm being truthful, General Iroh is my favorite character in the series, but I think I would just like a pure Earthbender as a playable fighter. Speaking of money, number 8 is Mr. Krabs.
Well, these claws ain't for just attracting mates.
Ahoy, Sponge Boy me Bob, or however the meme goes. Mr. Krabs has already been through war. He's seen some and he'll rip his opponents limb from limb. I could see Mr. Krabs unironically being the Wario of Nick All-Star Brawl. They both love money. Mr. Krabs' entire kit could revolve around money and fry cook paraphernalia from the time that he was the head chef on the SS Diarrhea. Maybe Mr. Krabs could be a sword character and use that one fish's head from the Soda Drink Hat episode. I think the beauty of this game is that cartoon characters have much more lore to pull from, which means the devs could have a lot of fun with it. Number 9, Raymundo.
Hey, Moondoggy! These waves are cool-o-rooney!
You're starting to see a pattern here. I don't know what it is about the father figure side characters of cartoons, but but I'm drawn to the husbandos. Rocket Power actually came out at the perfect time for me. I was 11 years old and thought skateboarding was so damn cool. Back in Brooklyn, a friend of mine who lived a few doors down had a skateboard, and we were all spending weeks trying to learn how to ollie, but spoiler alert, we didn't for a long time. Now pair this with Tony Hawk Pro Skater that was dropping on the PlayStation only weeks later, and I'm going off on another nostalgia tangent. The obvious choice would be Otto, Reggie, Twister, or Sam, maybe having a moveset like Bart in the Simpsons arcade game using a skateboard to fight, but Raymundo could also kind of fit the bill. He runs the Shore Shack similar to Mr. Krabs, so there could be some kind of grill or food element involved. But I would put this one on the same level as Doug, with the exception that Raymundo could legally be a part of the roster, but likely won't. It's a damn shame we won't get to hard read anyone with a boring 80s flashback Final Smash. Number 10, my last pick, Gerald.
I'm a strawberry, and we don't have any money!
Now, unlike characters like Raymundo and Stu Pickles, I think Gerald's chances are decent, and I don't know how many reps from Hey Arnold we're going to get. This is starting to feel like a Smash speculation video. So, I think the likelihood of Square Enix getting a second rep, yeah, something like that. Helga Pataki was in the game's reveal trailer, which leads me to believe that we'll also get Arnold as a playable character, and with Gerald being Arnold's best friend, he kind of serves the same role as Patrick, so I'd say his chances are 50-50. Also, Hey Arnold is in the same boat as Rocco's Modern Life with the long canceled, and I'm using that in quotes, Jungle movie that released in 2017, which gave the series closure with Arnold learning the truth about his parents. And Gerald could be a cool sports-based character, similar to Wii Fit Trainer. Well, not completely Wii Fit, but I guess I'm just highlighting specifically their side special. A couple honorable mentions. 1, Hugh Neutron.
Baby making is very complicated, believe me.
Personally, and let's put a lot of emphasis on that word, personally, I think Jimmy Neutron as a show is kinda mid. The only saving grace is Hugh Neutron, and I feel the same way about Invader Zim, with the exception is, I don't think there's any characters I like in that show. Funny enough, I said the same thing in my first Mario 64 episode, and people called for my head, but this is where I stand. Now, regardless, I think a Jimmy Neutron character is pretty likely, given the more obscure picks that we've seen so far. And my other honorable mention is Snap from Chalk Zone.
Tony's got the Chalk.
Chalk Zone, despite being one of the more commonly forgotten Nicktoons, had a 6-year run with, I think, like 4 seasons, which is pretty good. The show had a cool concept, but Snap easily was the show's mascot, and I think it could make for an interesting fighter. I somehow see him being something like Mr. Game & Watch if we're going to continue to make Smash parallels, but other than that, that's the wish list. I don't know what Viacom and Ludosity's plans for the game are, but I do know that Ludosity has their sights set on the tournament scene, and I'm just going to put it out there right now. I'm just going to put it out there and will it into the universe. I would love to see this game as one of the main events at EVO, and I would love to be there for it, either on stage or I would love to do tournament commentary. I mean, I'll be doing the usual here, but I would love to see this game explode. And with Smash Directs and expecting to see Sakurai every couple months going away, I hope this game gets continued support post-launch, and I hope anyone that doesn't make the cut as a playable character can still find representation as assist characters, stages, or similar. Just as Smash is a celebration of video games, let this be a celebration of Nicktoons over the last few decades. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you're looking for more All-Star Brawl content, but in the meantime, feel free to check out some of my other full playthroughs to pass the time. Catch you later.